Hello there, this is Tom the Beer Whisperer, and here once again. Drinking with the Beer Whisperer. Well, what are we drinking today? Well, this is a Genesee Cream Ale, and it is a great big 24-ounce can. Why am I drinking that? Good question. Uh, Mostly because, well, it is a decent hot weather beer, and we're pretty warm out there today. We're 90 plus. But more important than that, it was $1.09 at Whole Foods. That's a pretty good deal, is it not? Of course, maybe not the cream of the crop in craft beer land, for sure. But not terrible either. I mean, come on. Let's put our snobbery down for a second. You know, sometimes you gotta have a beer like this, especially when it's hot and you just want to quench your thirst real quick. Or you know, maybe you've already drank a couple of your good ones, and then you just want to have one and call it a night. Oh, there you go. Well, actually two. This is 24 ounces, so it's one can. The equivalent of two beers. So if your wife says you can only have one, that's a good place to start, huh? Oh. Actually, for a lighter body beer, this thing isn't terrible. I believe they run 5.2. They don't list their IBUs. Oh. A little more flavor than the typical American adjunct lager. Not a lot, but a little. It is meant to be easy drinking, and it is. Uh, a little bit ago, I had drank the Sierra Nevada Beer Camp Imperial Pilsner. Obviously, this is nowhere in that ballpark, but I wanted to do that one first while my palate was fresh, and then have this one later. It's a good beer. It's certainly not an Imperial Pilsner, but it is a phenomenal Pilsner. If you just call it a Pilsner, it's a great beer. Probably the second best Pilsner I've had this season, the first being the Vaclav from Urban Chestnut that I was able to have the other night. It was just phenomenal. 5.3, I believe, is the ABV on it, and it carries 45 IBUs for a Pilsner. And it is a traditional, other than 5.3 being a little bit large, but it is brewed in that old world style. The Urban Chestnut Master Brewers German Born is that the Vaclav is part of their Reverence series. They're a brewery that does two series. They do their Reverence and the Revolution. The Reverence kind of pays homage to old world brewing styles, while the Reverence kind of takes it to a whole other direction, you know, the new craft brew style. So it is unique that they are able to merge both brewing styles and still remain true to themselves. I would like to try more from them eventually. But that Pilsner from Beer Camp was good. The other day I tried the Floral IPA from that Beer Camp series. And it's a very unique very unique IPA that uses roses in both for flavor and for aromatics. And it does. My first initial few drinks of it were I was going to hate it. You can get the roses are very big on the nose, and then my first initial drink, it was like someone added rose water to it, you know. But it was something weird happened as I was drinking the thing. The more I drank it, and as it warmed slightly, the flavors just opened up, and I was worried that after my first couple of sips, by the time I got halfway through, it'd feel cloying and I couldn't drink anymore. But just the opposite happened. Everything just kind of blended together in this wonderful way, and I really liked it a lot. It's not something I probably would buy a six-pack of, if it was available. But I would certainly buy another mix pack to try a couple more of them. But I don't know if I'd want a whole 6-pack of that style. But was phenomenal and very inventive. Thumbs up. Oh. After Seamus's appointment today, we had to do a little running around, and they found a little bookstore. Seamus wanted to look in the bookstore. So I was kind of hot, so I thought, well, I'll just stay in the car. I just rolled the windows down, turn the music up a little bit, and they're in this bookstore about the size of a postage stamp, you know. I mean, it's about the size of a phone booth. So I figure they'll be out in 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes top end. Then 45 minutes later, I'm in the car roasting my chestnuts off, with the sweat dripping from the boys. So at that point, I said, okay, that's enough. I'm going to go in there. If she's not ready to go, I'm walking to the closest pub. But Seamus and the wife can spend all day in a bookstore. It turned out that they got to yapping with I believe it was probably the owners of the place, and then they liked Seamus, and of course the wife bought some books, and they gave Seamus a book, so that was very nice. So here we go. This is a beer that you can drink very quickly if you wanted to. I mean, I'm certainly not trying to. It's not like I'm looking to slam it, but you can see how easy that just kind of rolls down. It is very light. And it does taste very light following that Pilsner I had. The hop on that Pilsner was just, oh my gosh, it was good. And it really surprised me, because at first I was disappointed they were calling it something 5.7 and Imperial, but the taste, the flavor is phenomenal. So what's in their name? Oh, this isn't something that's going to knock your socks off flavor-wise, but it is going to be refreshing. Some people like to bag on beers like this, even this one in particular, but this particular light American style. I think people that don't live in extremely hot climates for a long period of time don't get these types of beers, because I think they don't when they try to review them or grade them, they're lumping them in this big general beer category, rather than say, okay, this is this style. How does it compare within that style? And that's what you honestly have to do. You can't look at a beer like this, bag on it for 10 minutes, take a sip, and go, oh, that's awful. Well, I mean, you got to take it within the context. There's a reason why hot climate countries, Mexico, Costa Rica, there's a reason why these Jamaica, there's a reason why these places drink these lighter type adjuncts, because it's hot, and you want something that's going to be light and refreshing. You come in from a hot day, you're sweating everywhere, you want something that's going to just pour and make you feel good. And there are better ones out there. There are some not so good, there are some decent, but you can't say the whole style's bad because you don't get it. And I think there are a lot of people out there that live in colder climates, or colder than we are anyway, that don't really have, 90 to 100 degree weather at a stretch that I have here, and they don't understand a beer like this. But I think if you had those days, you'd understand the purpose for a beer like this. Oh, wow. Sometimes you just want it cold and wet, and it's just going to kind of just take that heat on you. Act like Freon. You just take a big drink and it just cools your insides down, and that's what you're looking for, really. So I get the rest of this can in here. Here we go. Here we go. Genesee Cream Ale. This isn't a terrible beer on the market, and some of the macros in 24-ounce cans I've seen them sell for much higher. You know, dollar quarter, dollar and a half, $1.75, $2 even. Uh, and this, of course, I don't know if this will go for $1.09 everywhere. In fact, the Whole Foods is the only store that I've seen it in like this. I've seen the regular Genesee, but not the cream. But you know, $1.09 for a beer like that is certainly better than drinking one of the the serious macros. They don't list the total ingredients for it on their website. I know that the regular Genesee does use corn grits, um, obviously an adjunct. I don't know what this one does. Of course, you know Budweiser uses rice. That's what they list for their ingredients. Uh, they don't list that they use any corn. So there you go. But I mean, try to look up ingredients for Miller and Coors products. I mean, they are elusive, and you get to searching. I mean, there's bizarre ingredients that have no business being in beer. I don't even know what they're making, but that stuff isn't beer, y'all. I mean, it just ain't. And then you've got serious adjunct laden beers like PBR that use corn syrup. Ugh, you know, corn syrup. Oh my gosh, don't get me started. you know, I've looked up ingredients for Lone Star. Lone Star uses corn extract. This one, regular Genesee uses corn grits. Some use corn sugar, but rice is the main culprit you'll find in most American adjunct lagers. And you could really tell the biggest offenders. This one finishes better for me than many. For instance, if you ever drank a PBR, you'll notice it has that kind of that alcohol twang, a very sickeningly sweet taste. It doesn't finish clean. It's just finishes lazy. That's because it's loaded with corn syrup. It's terrible. It is. I can't figure out the nostalgia behind PBR, why it's so popular with that hipster crowd. Because it's probably the worst one out there. For me, anyway, I think it is because it is obviously loaded with corn syrup, more so than most others out there. For some reason, the name PBR has become cool, but I bet if folks were to drink beer in a blind taste test, it'd be the last one they'd pick as a favorite. Oh, well, and now the day is done, so probably going to have to, this will be the last one I do today, and I'll surrender the computer to the wife, and then I'm going to get in my underwear and relax for a little bit before I have to fix dinner here shortly. But right now I'm still so full from some barbecue we had earlier. Oh, holy Moses, it was good. Pappy's in St. Louis is kind of a local landmark place here, but oh my gosh, I would think we ate that at about 1 o'clock and my belly's still about to pop. Oh, there we go. Maybe I just had to burp. Maybe I just had to burp. No, I'm still full. It might be another burp coming, though.
Your son's hungry.
My son's always hungry. Well, I'm just about to finish this, and we'll wipe this out. So it's taking me... the purpose of doing these segments is to follow me from beer to beer. We're going to have a conversation, or from beginning to end on the beer, and we'll have a conversation during it. Some of them take me 15. A lot of them I've been doing in 10 to 12. This one obviously is going to take me all of 15, maybe slightly higher. Probably could have knocked it back faster if I drank it first, but I enjoyed that Pilsner first. But I've cooled down a little bit. My belly's full. So anyway, here we go. I'll show you one last time before I get out of here. This is the Genesee Cream. This is my last swallow. I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. You've been drinking with the Beer Whisperer. Wait a minute. I got one more. Oh.